Welcome to Trippy Commentaries and our preview of Mortal Kombat X. There's a new Mortal Kombat coming out, of course, on the next-gen consoles. The last one that we saw was pretty damn epic. It definitely lived up to the hype, and now there's going to be twice as much hype because this is a pretty sweet trailer. Definitely impressive. Of course, it's not a gameplay trailer. There's no footage of gameplay, but there's a lot to talk about. Definitely a lot of clues of what's to come. And we will show it off and get into it because we're extremely excited about the brand new MKX, which will be coming out in 2015. I'm RJ, joined by Mortal Kombat fan Justin.
Hey, what's up?
And live from Shao Kahn's winter ski lodge in the mountains of the Netherrealm is Corey. C-Dub, what's going on up there in the mountains with Shao Kahn?
Well, actually, guys, Shao Kahn has apparently made use of Sub-Zero's, I guess you would say, Sub-Zero abilities, yes. And he has opened up for the public's consumption a ski resort. So I'm up here enjoying some hot chocolate that likely has some human body parts in it, and I'm going to be joining in here to take a look at Mortal Kombat 10, Mortal Kombat X. I'm really looking forward to it.
Oh yeah, I gotta say, the thought of you, Corey, chilling in the hot tub with Shao Kahn and Sub-Zero sipping on hot chocolate, I'm very jealous. Let's get into this game. First of all, definitely has a big-time next-gen look to me. I think they're gonna take a big step forward. They gotta make a little bit more moves, a little bit more to talk about. Other than bringing the features that we saw in the last game, we definitely need some more stuff to appease our appetite for fighting, destruction. So let's see what new they bring to the table. Corey, just looking at this trailer, what are you taking from it right off the bat?
Oh, right off the bat, I feel like it's going to be a return to what made Mortal Kombat so classic, and all the nostalgic things, the classic characters and fatalities. But I feel like as the last Mortal Kombat did, Mortal Kombat 9, it kind of brought the series back to the modern day and did it right after a lot of sequels that weren't so great. And it looks like this will be more of the same, except on a completely new platform. And here, as we see Scorpion and Sub-Zero, I mean, just look at it. Look at how detailed they are. You saw that the amulet or whatever it was on Sub-Zero's chest there was a pretty nice touch. It appears that Scorpion has a lot more as far as the accessories. I mean, looks like he has like little straps and buckles, and I mean, it's just insanely detailed.
Definitely an updated look. Right off the bat, do you like these looks?
Oh, definitely, man. Like I said, I feel like they stayed close enough to the original to where it will appease the nostalgia freaks like myself, as well as adding a little bit of new stuff. As we see here, Scorpion hitting one of the big X-ray maneuvers that was added in Mortal Kombat 9. Justin, what were your thoughts as far as Mortal Kombat 9 and how it relates to this game?
Well, first of all, the art direction of this one looks a lot more realistic. 9 kind of had a little bit of a cartoon feel, even though it was pretty brutal and gory. Like you said, those X-ray maneuvers and all the fatalities, which... Good Lord, can we imagine what kind of fatalities 10 will have?
Yeah. And there's the face of Sub-Zero. Yeah, definitely looks good so far, that's for sure. Definitely saw the X-ray stuff there. That's, of course, going to be making a comeback here. I mean, they're showing that off right there. I gotta say, this is a pretty cool intro. The one thing we gotta point out, Corey, is the fact that they have Wiz Khalifa rap music playing over. Of course, we're listening to the classic Mortal Kombat theme song, but really to the trailer is a Wiz Khalifa song. Do you think that might have anything to do with the direction, or do you think that's just for the trailer purposes?
I'm hoping, that not a knock against Wiz Khalifa. He's not one of my favorite rappers, but, he's definitely good. I hope that it's not that, and that it is, just as you said, a part of the trailer. I'm thinking that they're going to go with the typical cinematic, very epic Mortal Kombat, the sound that we're all used to.
Yep.
I think it'll be hopefully a return to form, as was the last game. Now, earlier I mentioned something about Mortal Kombat having other sequels in the past after the first wave of Mortal Kombat, we'll say up to about Mortal Kombat 4 or so, it seemed like the popularity kind of weaned. But there is one feature from one of the later Mortal Kombats on, I believe, the Xbox, GameCube, and PS2 that I think could be interesting to possibly make a return, and I wanted to talk to you guys about it. And that is the ability to create a fighter.
Ooh.
Wow, that would certainly be a deal breaker here. I mean, that would be sick.
Well, I'm already sold, man. No deal will be broken. But if they could add that element, that would be amazing. I don't really see it happening. They're probably going to stay true to the original roster. But that's an interesting angle, Corey. Good point bringing that up.
Yeah, I mean, the fact that we have the same people making this game as the last one, they did a great job with the last game. Of course, we still need to see some gameplay footage to assure.
To me, this kind of looks like the gameplay footage mixed in with the cinematic. I'm sure it's not too far off from what we just saw.
Yeah. It's pretty easy to do, obviously, a lot with computer these days, so you can kind of make... There's been so many games to come out where, you see one thing in the trailer, but you actually don't do that on the game. Yeah. Mortal Kombat is pretty cut and dry, it's a fighting game, so you don't have to do too much crazy. Most of the stuff that they can show us, we can actually do in the game.
I did notice that it seems like some of the environmental aspects are usable. Like Sub-Zero froze a limb, took it off, and kind of beat Scorpion with it. Mm-hmm. And the way he pinned Sub-Zero's head against the tree, and you notice that right there the trees were burned. Maybe the environments are more destructible now.
Ooh, destructible environments. That would be huge.
Too. That would be cool.
Let's go ahead and pause it right here, Corey. I want to get your opinion on Sub-Zero, man. I gotta say, this is a really sick-looking version of him. Very eerie. What do you think?
Man, I think it kind of combines everything that I've liked about the updated Sub-Zero look. It almost has like a cyborg-type look to it. Definitely with the glowing ice blue eyes is a nice touch. Mm-hmm. It's just insanely detailed. I mean, to me, this is going to be just mind-blowing to just see in the coming months and weeks up to this game's release, more of the character design, more of the roster. Something to touch on at the end of the last Mortal Kombat. Quick spoiler alert here for anyone who hasn't played the last Mortal Kombat.
Spoiler alert. Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. At the end of it, we see the introduction of one Shinnok into the storyline, who is a former Elder God. And basically... he is revealed as a master of Quan Chi, and it is kind of led on that maybe in Mortal Kombat X, he may have a more significant role.
Yeah.
He was a guy who debuted in Mortal Kombat 4, and I feel like the last Mortal Kombat sort of encompassed the best of Mortal Kombat 1, 2, and 3.
Yeah, I definitely agree. It was kind of a love letter to the fans, because I felt like they had to take some of their urges to change up the series and bring it back to square one, and that's what made that game so good.
It needed a reboot, for sure.
Yeah, I mean, they added the X-ray stuff in there just to give it that new feel.
But also the other game modes. There was the Challenge Tower was pretty damn difficult when you get up to the last, 50 or so. That was a lot of fun. But also, there's a bunch of different battle modes to explore, and you can do multiplayer tournaments and everything, and playing online. So playing this game online on the next gen, it's going to be sick.
Yeah, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of devoted fighters. It's probably going to be quite the challenge to play it online, especially with the new console. Corey, what are you expecting out of the roster of characters? We definitely need to see some new characters here. I don't think it's kind of hard to guess as far as the Mortal Kombat universe goes as far as new characters, because they can create really whoever they want. They can create another Goro and do all kinds of crazy stuff. But we saw some interesting secret, or I guess exclusive characters in the last game. Do you have any ideas?
Yeah, we saw Kratos as a exclusive on PS3, and then they ended up going with Freddy Krueger as a DLC character, as well as a few others who weren't in the original games. And, maybe we could see perhaps another pop culture character or a crossover character. Certainly, as you said, the creators of Mortal Kombat, Ed Boon. And I'm not sure if John Tobias is still involved or not, but I know Ed Boon is.
Yeah.
If they wanted to expand the universe a little bit, I feel like there are maybe a few characters that they could bring back from some of the later Mortal Kombats, but for the most part, I think that introducing completely new characters, or as I said, maybe a part of the story mode this time could be the fact that you play as a created combatant, and it sort of takes on, like an avatar of your own, and the fate is left in your hands to, to save the universe.
Yeah, going back to that feature that you mentioned, Corey, I remember, I can't remember which game it was, but I remember hearing that was indeed in the game, and people had a lot of fun with it. And then it's funny, because as soon as MK9 came out, or the reboot, nobody really talked about it too much. And it kind of went unnoticed because the game was so good, and people kind of forgot about it. Now that they have a new game coming out for a new system, they need to add new features. That would be golden. Have you heard any clues, or is this just a guess on your part?
No, at this point it's just speculation on my part, but I think it's certainly reasonable speculation. It's something we definitely could see end up being a reality.
The possibilities would be endless. Obviously, you can create pretty much anybody from the Street Fighter series. Perhaps you can go with like Schwarzenegger, somebody from real life, as long as they give you a really good custom setup, which we've seen in games like Skyrim, Mass Effect. I mean, these games had amazing just ways to customize the look. You can pretty much create anybody you want out there. You can make Mr. T an orc in Skyrim if you'd like. You can do that. It's going to take time. But if they give us that in Mortal Kombat and give us the ability to kind of create ourselves or anybody we want, man, that would put so much replay into the game, on top of being a fighting game and already having so much replayability to
and
start
having
with.
a great story mode. I was really impressed by Mortal Kombat 9's the story there. I mean, of course, the cutscenes sometimes are cheesy, but the dialogue's pretty much meaningless. But just going through it, and you gain so much experience just playing the game. It's probably the best way to learn how to play the game if you haven't played before. And the other games, Injustice and MK versus DC Universe, both all good storylines, and I think that's something that, again, has been dramatically improved in this new generation of games the past 5 years.
Yeah, I'm sure the storyline's going to be even better, which, would be great considering how good it was in the last one, especially because it was, nice and long. Same with Injustice. Injustice was an amazing storyline. Yep. They really went crazy with that. Hopefully they take that imagination, they take it to Mortal Kombat 10, that's for sure. Because there's a lot of room to work with. Unfortunately, we've only seen pretty much a couple Mortal Kombats with decent storylines. Most of the time, they just kind of give a backstory of the fighters, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Now, kind of finishing it off, I just want to go back to characters, kind of a secret character that perhaps we would all want to see in the game. I mentioned a Schwarzenegger, some kind of a Terminator. I mean, we've had Terminator. I feel like there's Terminator references in past Mortal Kombat, so Schwarzenegger would be my, of course, perfect guy for them to put in this game. I would also like to see perhaps somebody from classic wrestling, maybe pay homage to Ultimate Warrior, seeing as he's gone. He seems like he would be a Mortal Kombat-esque kind of guy.
Yeah, that'd be cool. I'm kind of seeing a personal cult favorite, Hobo with a Shotgun.
Oh my god,
I could
genius.
totally see him in Mortal Kombat, dude. That would be pretty awesome.
Oh wow. Perhaps Machete as well.
Or Machete, yes.
C-Dub, you have any good possible fighters for this new MKX?
Well, like I said, we had Freddy Krueger in the last one, as well as Kratos. It's been speculated that Jason Voorhees was originally going to be in the last Mortal Kombat, but because of the fact that Jason traditionally doesn't really make any noise, they went with Freddy instead. So I personally would like to see a guy like a Jason Voorhees. The thought of having a pro wrestler in there would be certainly entertaining. I would have to go with Undertaker if that was the case.
That would make sense.
You know, I think we're going to be pleasantly surprised, as I was with the last Mortal Kombat, at what the creators have to offer. So we'll definitely have to stay tuned.
That's for sure. We definitely are excited about the art direction. I think that's what really I get the biggest hype about this, is just a new art direction. It still, of course, has that retro kind of classic vibe. They're not going too far away from it, but at the same time, they're going to give it just that enough detail and upgrade,
a nice refinement
for this new next generation of consoles here. Yeah, so I'm very excited for the game. I definitely hope that they start releasing the roster. I think that'd be a good way to get people excited. Maybe just gradually let us know the roster, maybe give us some new names here and there, give us the looks of some old fighters. Hopefully they do Sonya justice. Raiden is going to look pretty damn sweet in on a next-gen console with all the electrical effects.
Oh, yeah.
Jax with the arms there. They got a lot of work to do, and they got to show it off to us.
There's so many Cabal, Baraka.
Yeah, I mean, they got to redesign all these guys for the next-gen console here. Corey, go ahead and take us out. I'm RJ. Peace out, guys. For Justin.
Later.
Corey, good luck over there with Shao Kahn. Watch out. I know he seems like a nice guy, but he'll kill you in a second.
Yeah, he's definitely given me some trouble in the past. Everybody out there, thanks for tuning in. Make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Stay tuned for more Mortal Kombat coverage. Check out our pro wrestling coverage, our GTA coverage. We're deep in the jetpack hunt. The struggle is real looking for the jetpack. Stay tuned for more Mortal Kombat. Stay trippy.
Peace out, guys, and definitely drop your comment. Let us know what you think about the brand new MKX. Peace out.